a computer, and all these things that we can be grateful for create positivity.
Yeah.
You know, it's just, where does it stop? It just keeps going.
Yeah, yeah. And I think when you bring it down to just the real basic, that basic level, and, just be happy for your healthy children and be happy for your own health.
So important. So important. From a personal point of view, I've had a journey of being in chronic pain for the last year, and not really any resolution to it, although, I have been through to see medical specialists to try and resolve the issue. But, I'm not in a wheelchair and I'm not confined to the house, but there are limitations that have changed my life, which, I've had to live with. And obviously there's far more people on this planet who deal with severe chronic pain and have...
But that's their journey.
Yeah, they have real issues to deal with. So I'm thankful that even though I am in chronic pain, that I'm able to do a lot of the things that I want to do.
See, that's still turning it into a positive. And this is where a lot of people get themselves in trouble too, because even though they may be experiencing pain, or they may be sort of in a situation that's uncomfortable, and they think, but I can't complain because there are people that have it far worse. You are correct, but that's their journey. That's something that they've invited into their lives to learn whatever they need to learn.
Yeah, and it's
Sorry, guys, we're back. I just had to take a quick break because I do apologize. My dog didn't realize I had fallen asleep under the desk here and was snoring. I could hear this noise in the background. What is that? And then poor Ronnie's got a fly buzzing around her head, so I had to kill the fly. So anyway, we're back.
What I was going to say
chronic pain.
Before I was really interrupted by the fly. What I was going to say basically is that even though that's everybody's journey, it's really important that you think about your own journey and how you can change that into a positive one. So having that healthy attitude and positive thoughts, we look at, obviously regular exercise, which is really good if you can, getting out in the open.
Find something you actually like to do, because a lot of people think exercise, but there's things that you can do that are fun.
I'm not a gym junkie.
No.
I hate it.
Me neither.
Yeah, after a while I hate the smell of sweat. I mean, mine's bad enough, but then you've got to smell everybody else's. That's even worse. And then there's a combination of more than one. Then there's the perfume that goes with it on the top.
Oh, God.
But anyway, we could go further, and I don't want to put any images in your head that you shouldn't have. But yeah, you're right, exercise. And then... the healthy eating. You eat really healthy.
Yeah. Oh, I do try. I do make conscious efforts.
She makes the most amazing biscuits.
Oh, I make good cookies.
Yeah.
But because I like to make my own.
Yeah.
And, if I've got the time, I prefer to make all of my own food from scratch rather than buying pre-made things, because there's an element missing. And I grew up in a home where there was a love of cooking and a love of baking, because it wasn't just about the cooking and the baking, it was who you were doing it with, and who you were doing it for.
Positive energy,
right? So you're putting that love into the food, and that's why when you go to eat the food, you get this explosion of flavor, because that love has gone into the food that was made. So and so getting back to what you were saying, like if I'm going to make biscuits, I'll replace the flour with almond flour.
Yeah.
And I'll replace, the sugar. You don't want the white processed sugar, because that just is not good for you. We've learned that. So I'll use coconut sugar and things like that are more of a raw ingredient, which is actually used by the body in a much healthier way. So
I like the way you said raw. Like
raw.
In Cornwall we say raw.
Raw.
Right? Everything's raw. Raw.
Apparently in Canada we say a boot as well, which I thought, really? Isn't that something you wear on your foot? Aye.
Raw. Raw.
That's it.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
So, we're not always agreed that exercise is best done in the gym. Whatever makes you happy in terms of
just
exercising.
Get out and move around.
Do it.
We don't move around enough, do we?
No. But I would say with Australia, though, I was pleasantly surprised, that early in the morning when you're on your way to work, that there's lots of people out there with a bottle of water going for a walk. And I thought, at first I did think, what are all these people doing?
Where are they going?
Yeah. Where are they going?
Where's the party?
Yeah. And what are they doing? It was a sale on that I didn't know about? Or is there a supermarket close by with some specials? Or...
Are the cops running after them?
Well, have they just done a burglary?
Yeah.
But there were loads of it. I thought, what are they all doing? And because people laughed at me at work and said, that's what people do in Australia. They get up early before it gets too hot and they go for a walk. And I thought, what a fabulous way of getting that exercise done. Yeah. Of course, you try and do that, not Cornwall, because I love Cornwall. If you try and do that in the UK, you probably get mugged. Have your phone taken off you, or you might be wrestled to the ground because they think you've just done a burglary.
Oh, God.
So it's not usual to see people, especially women, walking around on their own.
Yeah. Okay, that's interesting. But yeah, there's look, you just have to find something that works for you. Go for a ride on your bike, walk the dog, but just get out, get off the couch, get out, even if it's just for 60 minutes a day. Do something for your body because your body will love you for it. Even even if you're sitting in the telly, do some Pilates, do some yoga, grab some hand weights and just sort of work your muscles a little bit. Because when you're just sitting, you get very stiff.
Yeah.
And as you get older, trust me, it gets worse.
I'm really looking forward to that. I'm only
Shut
25.
Up. She's lying.
So, moving on, swiftly on from the exercise, let's run away from that.
Yes.
Mind over matter, the body curing itself. So, we get our focus.
Yep.
We try and raise our sort of spiritual awareness and our spiritual connection by being out in nature, going for a walk, really trying to develop ourselves as people, understanding the importance of exercise, eating healthily, positive affirmations, really bringing ourselves
There's simple
to the fore.
choices. There's such simple choices.
They are, but how many people just don't stop and think and reflect, and that's it, isn't it?
I think as time goes on, the entire human race is kind of getting the message that there's definitely something going wrong here and we need to fix it.
Yeah.
And it's going to take a long time. I mean, you just look at healing the earth. There's so many things that we've done wrong in the last few decades that we now are realizing, we need to stop doing this because we're going to just get more and more sick. I mean, if you want to use the planet Earth as a good example, when nature is out of balance, all you need to just go onto Facebook and see the images that people are posting about what's happening around the world. And this is why now that we've got that awareness, this is where, I'm not a huge fan of Facebook, but it is good for getting the message out there. Instagram is great as well because people are beginning to see these images and we react because we're connected to the earth. We're part of it.
Yeah, there is
whatever happening to the earth is happening to us.
There's definitely a positive effect in terms of spreading the awareness and the news about what damage is being done to the earth.
Yeah.
But there's also that negative effect that people get so engrossed with social media that they forget...
That's the other side of it,
Yeah, they forget to really focus on just that connection with the earth itself.
Yeah, and that's where the ego comes in.
Yeah, it's also that and the energy. It's like if you're not connected to the energy of this earth, spiritually, you're not going to grow.
Yeah,
you're not going to know your intuition, and you're not going to do the psychic thing. So going back to what you said earlier about people being happy with their lives, that's not about wealth. That's not about what you own and materialism. No. We set ourselves goals. If I get the next promotion, then everything's going to be fine. I'll pay my bills. But you get more money, and then you start thinking...
Spending more.
Yeah. So,
happens.
Where can we afford to go on holiday this year? Or what car are you going to buy? Or if I just get this, then I'll be happy. But of course you're not, because the big reason behind that is you actually compare yourself to your peers and other people who are successful. Yeah. So there's always going to be somebody who's more successful than you, and so you're carrying on up that ladder. So you have to say to yourself, what do you really want? Do you want to be connected with the earth and spirituality and grow as a person and enjoy life, regardless of your materialism and wealth? Or do you want to keep pushing yourself so that you own lots of land, or you're very wealthy, but you're alone.
You have lots of stuff.
Yeah.
No one to share it with.
You don't have great relationships.
Yeah.
Not saying that people that aren't wealthy don't have great relationships, but if that's just your focus and it's not about, your mind, body, how to improve life, how to be connected to other people, and how to give back
and share. Share that part of yourself that's given you so much joy. Why wouldn't you want to share it?
Something that reminds me of Steve Jobs before he died. He was one of the wealthiest men in the world, maybe perhaps the wealthiest, who knows. But he was quoted several months before he died, and he said, "You know what? I attained everything I wanted to do. I developed this massive company. I'm probably the wealthiest human being on this planet. But one thing you can't buy is health, and you can't buy the sweeter, beautiful things in life that come through self-development and learning to connect with other people and this earth."
That's a huge message to leave this world with, to pass on to us.
Because having money is not going to change you.
No.
It will change you in some ways that may not be of benefit. But the whole point of our focus is if we start with ourselves and make ourselves a better person and spiritual awareness, then surely we'll treat others and this planet. And so it's like a ripple effect. Start with yourself. And then it has a ripple effect with other people's in your lives. What do you think about that, Claudia?
I think that's absolutely spot on. And I think with the listeners out there too, just to keep in line with what we are talking about today, which is mind and body. Take a step back. If you are experiencing, say, chronic pain, emotional pain, any kind of sort of physical pain that doesn't seem to be going away, just take a step back and meditate on that for a moment and really think about why this is happening, why you're not getting better, what needs to change in your life so you can heal.
Or what you need to let go of.
What do you need to let go of?
Yeah.
That's right. Just really take a good look. And if you do acknowledge what it is, but you don't know how to fix it, reach out. Ask the universe to send help your way. Because the minute you ask, it will arrive.
Yeah. Even a simple statement like when you're meditating, to actually say quietly to the inner self, I am ready to let go of anything that is making me feel unhappy or unwell, will. It might come up in a sneeze or a burp, or you might just feel something shift. And it's something I learned really... I learnt the real value of it and I quite often say it when I spent time at the Gawler Foundation. They talk about and do meditation that is very healing. And I know that there are many places that you can go. You don't have to go to the Gawler Foundation.
Just for our listeners, just tell them quickly what the Gawler Foundation is, just in case we have some folks that don't know.
Okay, Claudia, thanks for that. The Gawler Foundation is a place that you can go, which is in Melbourne. It's the other side of Yarra Junction. And they developed a meditation, how do you put it?
Healing?
Yeah. In kind of a sanctuary up there that allows people to heal. And really what we were talked about earlier is that people collect hurt and feelings of frustration and emotions, and they have it trapped in their body, and they don't realise that this negativity makes them unwell. Now, you mentioned it earlier, you mentioned your mum, didn't you? Very important that we let go of some of those negative beliefs about ourselves and how that's hurt us. If somebody's hurt us in the past, or we've been in negative relationships, we may have felt disappointed about what we could or should and would have done. We have regret, there's grief. We hold on to all sorts of negativity. And it's through meditation that you can, and yoga is another one, that we can get rid of it. Gawler, who was diagnosed with bone cancer and eventually had to have the whole leg removed after And in his sort of sojourn, in his journey about meditation and